Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we're doing our first software update on our 2021 Tesla Model Y. Now we've owned our standard range Model Y for just over 3 weeks now, and when we picked up the car, it had a little bit of an older software installed. The car was on software version 2020.39.110. Now already when we picked up the car, it was on one software older than what was current, and at this point, the car's actually 2 software updates behind. The newest one is 2021.4.3. However, just a few days ago, we got a notification in our car that the newest software update was available. It was just about 3 weeks after we picked up the car. It's 21 days, not too bad. We had been told that it could take up to 45 days for our new car to be put into Tesla's system to be eligible for software updates. So I wanted to document the process with all of you. This is exciting for us because our car's getting some updates, some new features, and for any of you all who are curious how software updates go in a Tesla, here's a chance for you to find out. Now, many new automakers are promising over-the-air updates for their cars, but at this point, no one has gone as far as Tesla has to provide new features, functionality, and in some cases, as much as dramatic increases in range, all through software updates. Somebody who bought a Model 3 in 2018 doesn't feel like they have a car that's from 2018. They feel like they have essentially a new Model 3, aside from maybe some panel gap issues. So let's take a look at the process now. Right off the bat, we had a few different options. We could initiate the software update from our app, so we could actually click software update, and it would prompt us to install, says it'll take about 25 minutes, and you will be unable to drive or use the touchscreen, and your car alarm may be disarmed for a short duration if enabled. But we're going to initiate the process right from the car. So to do that, click up here. We see software update. We could either schedule it or we could install now. It tells me the same warning message from the app. We are in our garage here. The car is plugged in using our Grizzly charger. So let's go for it. Install now. Update begins in 2 minutes. It's a countdown timer. That gives me just enough time to talk about our Grizzly charger. You may have heard us talk about our 240 charging solution in previous videos. Here is a chance to actually show it in action a bit. You can see how nicely sized it is, fitting in there, tucked away in our garage. I was actually able to do a good amount of the installation, and a professional electrician installed a plug, 240 plug, but I installed the box, mounted it right there. It's very easy to mount up. And we've got this super long, high quality cable. Feels really good. It's malleable even in this 15-degree Fahrenheit weather right now. And then it's plugged into the car there using a Tesla charging adapter. You can see we have the nice green charging logo. And the charger itself, when it's blinking green, tells me it's feeding charge to the car. And when it's solid green, it says, oh, it actually changed right there. It's no longer taking any more charge. It's probably because I think the climate control turned off in the vehicle. Let me see if I can turn that back on. We're at 52. Okay, 50 seconds. It does come with a little thing right here that I could use. I could mount somewhere and actually store the cable. I could wrap that around and then the charger actually goes in it. But I haven't figured out a great place to do that yet. I'm probably going to do some sort of wrap right here on this pole. Our garage is a little packed. You can see the Daily Motor motorcycles here. In here for the winter, and then our F-150 test vehicle as well. All right, what do we got here? 20 seconds. Here we go. Ooh, black screen, software updating to 2021.4.3. Do not drive until complete. Okay, well, we'll kind of hang out, see how long this takes. It is 4:08 right now. So we'll see how long it takes to finish, if it's actually about 25 minutes. Status update, just about 30 minutes in. We are still working away. Looks like about 60% of the way through. Interestingly, I was also locked out of the car there for a minute. I'm sure it was a part that the car was completely off, rebooting itself or something like that, but I came back to check on it and I could not open the door. But that only lasted, at least from when I got to the car, about 20 seconds or so. Pretty much by the time I had the camera on to show you guys, it was letting me in. So our percentage has actually gone down. We were at 60%, now we're at 59. And it's been about almost 50 minutes, 4:56. I will say it is going faster now, it's moving, it's up to 62. And this could have something to do with the fact that we were actually 2 software versions behind. We weren't on the last one, we were on 2 software versions ago. It does seem as though we now have heat though, so it's bearable to sit out here again. And there we are, exactly 50 minutes later, so double the time it expected. However, as I said before, I bet you that had something to do with the fact we were doing 2 updates. So this tells us that it just has minor fixes. Release contains minor bug fixes and improvements, and nothing more. However, this does mean we also got a big UI update, and I know this one's a little bit controversial, and I'm already starting to see some of the downsides to this new user interface. First off, this row down here is light colored rather than dark. I'm not as much of a fan of that. I don't know why they bothered to go that way. And I can see that the map is indeed smaller, as a lot of people pointed out that it would be. So let's actually go open up the browser. I need to get like a long GoPro mount that I could suction cup onto the roof or the windshield or something and have just go right on the screen. You can really see how much smaller this area of the screen is with the browser open. It's kind of a shame that, at least when it's parked, if this got smaller, then if you were charging or something, then you could have a larger browser window. Using Tesla Scope, looks like there are actually quite a few different ones out here. There's already a 4.5 as well. Interesting. So this is the big one that we had not yet gotten. 2020.48.35.5. It says it should bring navigation improvements, auto steer stop sign and stoplight warning, dynamic brake lights. If you're driving over 31 and brake forcefully, the brakes will now flash quickly to warn other drivers that you're slowing down. That's kind of cool. Text messaging improvements, QQ music improvements, Sentry mode improvements, and then the other thing that we had not yet gotten, there's actually quite a few things. We had also not yet gotten this update, which gives some new games, which I really couldn't care too much about, although Solitaire would be nice, to be honest. This right here, Boombox, that's what I'm looking forward to messing around with, because now we can do the outside speaker. Definitely gonna mess around with that some and then do a video on that, so we can actually put custom sounds on a USB drive and then make custom horns and sounds. This driving visualization improvement, that is what makes for this larger left side area, and that's where a lot of the complaints have been, so we'll have to report back, kind of see how we feel about that. Scheduled departure improvements, emissions mode improvements, supercharger display improvements, so it actually shows how many available stalls there are. That's kind of nice. And a few other changes. All right, so our first software update in the Model Y went a little longer than planned, but I do think that's because we were so many versions behind, and it'll be interesting to see if, when we get our next update, if it's actually as quick as Tesla suspects it'll be. A little update. A few days after we did our last software update, and just a day before this video was supposed to post, we got another software update notification. This time 2021.4.6, also says approximately 25 minutes. So let's put it to the test. 4:51, install now, 2-minute countdown. That actually ended up being much faster than expected. 5:11, it was actually a few minutes ago that I was inside the house and it told me it was finished, so less than 20 minutes to update. And look at this, range display. Your car will now display a slightly higher range to more accurately reflect the capacity of the battery. Now this is interesting because We haven't actually seen the full 244 miles displayed on our range display before, partially because we rarely charge to 100%, and also partially because it's been cold and it would be nearly impossible for us to actually get 244 miles. So let's exit out of this. It just says 86% right now. Let's switch over, go car, display, and energy distance. So it's giving us 208 miles at 86% right now. So let's do some quick math. That would put us up about 242 miles full if this thing were to, if we just kind of base the math off strictly 86% and multiply up. But we are going to charge it fully tonight because we're heading out on a road trip tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see what we get for our full readout. So, the update process for our Model Y, pretty simple, really. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see more on our Model Y, check the links in the description for our playlist with all of our videos. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.